You're listening to Civic Media. You can tune into any of our live shows on any radio station across the state with the Civic Media app. Find us in your phone's app store and listen anytime, anywhere. This is your WXCO Daily News Roundup for Bull Falls Radio, 98.9 FM and 1230 AM in Wausau.
For WXCO News, I'm Melissa Kay. One officer is fighting for their life. The other is expected to be okay. Stuart J. Waddles reports.
2 Milwaukee police officers were shot while responding to a call last night. Assistant Police Chief Nicole Waldner spoke to the media early this morning.
Approximately 9:10 p.m., officers were sent to a subject with weapon call. While en route, it was upgraded to a shots fired. While the officers were approaching, they were unexpectedly fired upon in the alley of the 2200 block of North 24th Place. The officers were both struck and not able to return fire. Both officers have just over 6 years on the job. Our first officer is a 29-year-old, and he is currently at the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The second officer, a 32-year-old, is at the hospital, and he remains in critical condition.
Police are searching for a suspect described as armed and dangerous. It's believed they know who they're looking for, but have not yet released a name.
New Marquette poll results show how Wisconsinites feel about some of the key issues in state budget negotiations. Savannah Tomei-Olson focuses on the top two.
Republicans have stood firm that their top priority is a tax cut. The poll shows a majority of Wisconsinites support using at least some of the state's more than $4 billion surplus to lower taxes. Poll director Charles Franklin.
It's clear that there's a lot of support for a substantial tax cut.
Meanwhile, for Governor Tony Evers and Democrats, one of their top priorities is funding for K-12 schools. However, tax cuts have grown to be more of a priority among Wisconsinites.
Are you more concerned with reducing property taxes or more concerned with increasing funding for public schools? 57% say they're more concerned with property taxes, 43% more concerned with funding schools. This has undergone a huge change over time.
The problem here is that when state lawmakers give less taxpayer money to schools, districts are proposing referendums just to stay afloat. So then residents often end up paying higher taxes anyway. For Civic Media News, I'm Savannah Tomei-Olson.
As we continue to deal with the effects of climate change, wildfires are becoming more prevalent. However, development of a new tool designed to detect wildfires at the University of Wisconsin-Madison could face delays due to federal funding cuts. According to a WPR report, the next-generation fire system uses artificial intelligence and real-time satellite images to track the spread of wildfires. Officials say the funding delays are the result of a review of National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration contracts by the Trump administration. The federal agency partnered with the Cooperative Institute for Meteorological Satellite Studies at UW-Madison to develop the tool. AAA projects 72.2 million Americans will travel domestically during the Independence Day holiday period, Saturday, June 28th to Sunday, July 6th. This represents an increase of 1.7 million travelers over last year and 7 million more than in 2019. Motorists should expect heavy road congestion on Wednesday, July 2nd and Sunday, July 6th. The busiest times will be afternoons, while mornings offer the best escape from traffic. Drivers should remain alert for construction delays, crashes, and severe weather. I'm Melissa Kay, and you're listening to WXCO 98.9 FM in Wausau. Real news and great conversation.
The Bucks draft a big man. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Basketball, the Milwaukee Bucks used their second-round pick to add Bogoljub Markovic, 19 years old, a forward and a top player in Serbia, 6'11", but just 217 pounds, assistant general manager Milt Newton, and how long the Bucks have had their eye on Markovic.
Well, actually, we've been on him for the last 4 or 5 years. They were very high on him. Obviously, a little bit thinner right now. Got to get stronger, put on some more weight, but but we've been on him for the last 4 or 5 years.
The Bucs also signed Alabama's Mark Sears to a two-way deal. Meanwhile, a lot of excitement across the state that Milwaukee's Con Knippel, after just 1 year at Duke, went as high as 4th overall in the draft to Charlotte. Knippel says he met with the Hornets in Chicago last month.
Yeah, I mean, having the interviews at the Combine and then in my visit there with the team. And so I'm super glad they pulled the trigger, and I can't wait to be a Hornet.
With Sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Put on your seatbelts, folks, for this weekend's new theatrical releases. The biggie is F1, the movie. Racing fans will love it for its high-octane action Formula One racing scenes, and those who think Brad Pitt is dreamy will like it because Brad Pitt plays a race car driver. The film is being called Top Gun on Wheels and is reviewing in the mid to high 90th percentile on Rotten Tomatoes. Audiences seem to be digging the film as well. If you're up for a horror flick sequel about AI going rogue and turning into a killer, check out Megan 2.0. The first installment, you guessed it, Megan, made $180 million worldwide on just a $12 million production budget. The film is reviewing in the low 60s on Rotten Tomatoes, but still fresh. If you're in the mood for a dark comedy drama, check out Sorry Baby, the latest film from A24 Studios. Let's go to the movies. We are about halfway through the year, so Variety has just released its 10 best movies of the year so far. There is one surprise on the list, but mostly it's been the go-to films that we've talked about on a nightly basis on Nightlight, including spy thriller Black Bag, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, which may or may not be the last of the franchise, Sly Lives, which is a fantastic documentary on Hulu about Sly and the Family Stone founder Sly Stone. A couple surprises are a film that is just opening this weekend called Sorry Baby, a drama about a college professor dealing with the aftermath of sexual assault. 28 years later also made the list, which you can see in theaters currently. Ryan Coogler's vampire thriller Sinners is on the list, and that's no big surprise. What was surprising about the list was the film Alto Nights, starring Robert De Niro as two gangsters. The film was sort of universally panned by critics. Variety has it on the list, so it might be worth a watch. Happy viewing. You gotta love the Reacher series. They are hard at work on season 4 already and rarely make their audience wait too long between seasons. Barry star Christopher Rodriguez Marquette will join the cast for season 4, taking over the role of a small-town cop vacated by Jay Baruchel, who left the show to attend to personal matters. Season 4 of the Netflix show is scheduled to drop sometime in 2026. Martin Freeman might be the hardest working man in show business, and he's a pretty darn good actor too. The Hobbit star has agreed to join the cast of The Adam Trials, a psychological thriller directed by River Wild filmmaker Ben Kitai. Young Sheldon's Ian Armitage will also be part of the cast. The plot follows two parents who will do anything to save the life of their terminally ill son, but with unexpected side effects. The project is still in the early stages of production, so stay tuned.
Mostly cloudy this morning with a little more sunshine by later this afternoon. Our high today in the low to mid 70s. Tonight, partly cloudy. We're going to drop down into the 50s for an overnight low. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, upper 70s to low 80s with a few scattered thunderstorms tomorrow night. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Right now, it's 64.
That's your WXCO Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at bullfallsradio.com. The national news cycle never stops, but it can be hard to find news about your local community. Civic Media is dedicated to providing quality local and state news coverage across Wisconsin. With the Civic Media app, you can get notifications about local stories that matter to you and your community. Find the free Civic Media app in your phone's app store and choose notifications from the menu to tell us what kind of news you want to hear about.